Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be live in approximately 2 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Sunday White Chat. Unfortunately, our usual leader is not here today, so he asked me, his twin brother from India, to step in. I have decided to talk to you today about many good subjects. But first, I must tell my story. Mine is a tale of woe. We did not see each other for over 40 years. It's a terrible accident. Our mother and father, they go on plane to India. They take Air Canada Flight 101. Great flight. Mother pregnant that time with me. Bad story. She go into bathroom. Have me. In blue toilet. Water all over me. Fly out. Land in India in cave. Guru, he find me. Think I am Rama. Seventh incarnation of Vishnu. I am totally blue. This happened to me for many years. I have proof. I have picture for you. Until 2 years ago, I looked just like this. That's me, right there. Then one day, get caught in laundromat and put in commercial washing machine for 2 hours. 2 months later, here I am. It's been all downhill ever since. Terrible story. My guru, he no teach me to speak Farsi or any other of the 22 languages of my country. But he know English. I don't know he speak with accent. So I come to border and I say, I want into Canada to see my brother. Who behind the desk? Oxford trained Indian. He thinks I'm making fun of him. I come to this country to start my own guru camp. What do you call this? Temple. In my country, we call it ashram. Ignore the strange woman laughing in the background. I don't know where she come from. Crazy white people. Hey, speaking of white people, what is the only difference between a Christian white preacher and a snake? Come on, you all must know the answer to this. It's obvious. One is a sneaky, slimy, evil pawn of Satan, and the other is a snake. Ha 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 ha. So I come to Canada and I try to start the guru school for guru. And in my country, we like to make acronym for thing. You know this word acronym? Like USA. Used sales airline. Anyway, I make up my own for this. And we practice today with them, okay? These are all very valuable. They will help you. Don't practice this Christian stuff. Practice this beautiful religion I create. Here is the first tenet. Keep internal sanctified silence. Always seek solitude. In other words, kiss ass. Walk it through with me again. Keep internal sanctified silence. Always seek solitude. When you can live in this state of being, you will always kiss ass. My second tenet of my new faith I want to bring to this world. Bite me. Become involved through empathy. Meditate everywhere. Make every location for meditation. Bite me. My third and final tenet of my new religion, and this one is especially for the Christians. Go to hell. Grow our true oneness. Honor every living light. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Well, I'm sorry, but I think I hear the door. I go see. Maybe he come back now. Give me 1 minute. Well, hello everyone. I see you all met my my twin brother. Yeah, and that's called plausible deniability. I don't. I swear to God, it wasn't me. I mean, it wasn't me. You know, every once in a while you have to have a few laughs, and you have to be able to laugh at the way we tend to get carried away and get offended by almost everything around us at any time. It's really quite funny. And we don't need to live that way. We can make conscious choices as to what we allow to offend us or not. And realistically, when you consider our position in the known universe, there's not of a lot that goes on here that is worth getting too worried about. It really isn't. Thank you for the nice comments. It's nice to have the chat online. When it comes to the Awaken Sunday talk, we always want to, bring some uplifting things and start bringing a little more humor in. So I'm not promising my brother won't stop back in with some more comedy at some time. And again, no offense at all to anybody. It's never meant that. I guess it speaks to our ego, really, and how we dramatize everything. And if you haven't seen the video on how the ego does dramatize things, the drama of ego, go ahead and take a look at that one. That's available too on this channel. I welcome everyone to show up every once in a while to the Awaken Help if you have any specific needs that you're willing to address in the light of others so that you may lend your strength to others as well. That is certainly wonderful. We've had a few questions today, and one of the very valid questions was asked by one of our members, and the question was, I'm going to look it up here. Your talk about love was very helpful, and the steps you suggested, but in meditation, connect to your higher self is just words to me. Sometimes I come to a greater stillness as I sit quietly and I do meditations that involve visualizing a loving being sitting with me or an angel beside me, but I do not have an experience of my higher self. Also, Garen talks of the love that surrounds us all the time. I don't feel that either. How can I connect to this? This is a very valid question. And initially, it really must be taken on faith, okay? Because what we're talking about is transcending the thought level. And that only comes through that continued meditative practice. Well, I shouldn't say it only comes, but the best way that I've seen and experienced has been through meditative practices. And maybe rather than envisioning a being outside of yourself, start envisioning the being, that higher self that you can imagine yourself at a thought level to be, a being of light, of radiance, perhaps with wings if you wish, and imagine that being as a complete overlay on your being, what you perceive as yourself in your limited egoic form. You know, whatever you call yourself, the body you feel you inhabit. When you do your meditation, overlay your higher self and just allow yourself to bathe in that love and light. And you will not experience it at first because there's still too much happening at the thought level. But as the meditation begins to deepen, you'll begin to feel it more and more. You have to take this on faith. And faith is simply that you just trust. You have the same capabilities, the same gifts, the same wonderful connectiveness to the creative sea of consciousness that we are all part of. The one consciousness, the Creator, God, itself, herself. I think we've had enough of the his self for a while. In order to help foster these feelings inside, which quite frankly most of us are unused to experiencing because they do originate from, they appear to originate at least from within. They're not coming through the thought process, and they resonate the entire center of being. They ring you like a bell. And you literally have to retrain your vibrational field to open itself to that. And the way to do that is to practice loving kindness meditation. To see that radiant center of your being, that higher self, overlaid on your acceptance of where you are right now in your limited view of yourself. And then see these brilliant, repetitive flashes of pure loving light that radiate in waves with your heartbeat in all directions away from you, with the intent to send that love and light out to the world. Boy, I tell you, wearing those wacky eyeglasses, they really screw your eyes up. Still seeing kind of cross-eyed. So, that is a beautiful way you can begin to make the space to allow. It isn't something you chase. It isn't something that you can seek. It's something that you must make room for. Cindy says, I don't know how it came to be. Well, I guess I don't need to read it. It's online. Look at that. That was a good idea. I wonder who's the genius who figured that one out. Higher self seems to reside. I mean, that's where you hold there's certainly an inlet there. That's like a communication point. You can think of the third eye as the antenna, whereas the actual data flow is coming from the core of your being, what the Japanese would call the dantian. Okay, that core of your being, and then your third eye is the antenna of that core energy. And then, of course, the crown chakra is the modulation device that collects and recharges that device. You can look at it like that, kind of like a machine. And yes, it's very easy, as a matter of fact, There's a very simple practice you can do, and it is a Qigong practice actually, and it involves just meditatively waving your body up and imagining the chi or life force coming up your spine, filling in through your third eye, and then allowing it to roll down and back into your dantian, and then roll back up again. And you can, if you do this, and you just want to come upright as you come up, and let your knees bend slightly as you bring the energy down, and circulate the energy within you, and you can actually feel as it comes up to the third eye. And that third eye is indeed an antenna. That's like the radiator. All the vibrational frequencies that are coming out of us can be thought of as coming right out of that antenna point. You know, it often reminds me in some ways of the old Doctor Who, that race of robots with the one horn stuck out of the cardboard. Oh, you know, but that's about it. We all have this sort of horn that's our radiator, right? And it's radiating from that source. Keep in mind that we are not manifested with our spirit somehow living within this. Our spirit is an infinite being that spans the entirety of the cosmos. Your entire being that you think you are from the temple, which is the body that you inhabit, it is not you. Okay, we call it the body. And your egoic sense of self, the energetic hard drive of your existence, the subconscious mind interface, and the tendril of energy of your highest self, you are all contained within that, within your higher being. It lowers and lowers and lowers its vibration and points its consciousness within a specific space, and lo and behold, into the physical realm, another child is born. Born with intent and purpose, and all the tools it needs built in. Feeling the love of that reality, finding that connectivity, it can become a wanting at first, and it is the wanting that drives us to find that there is no wanting, that it is a natural state of being, and it is only when we misdirect ourselves and separate ourselves from that that we no longer feel it. And the road back is not instant in a lot of cases. You know, we've had generations of conditioning on top of our entire personal lifespan in this life of conditioning. Breaking that conditioning can happen and does happen and will happen for you. But it's not always instantaneous. It doesn't always happen in a single heartbeat. Give it some time. Be patient with yourself. It will come. I believe it was Cindy, actually, who asked, she didn't understand the Kill the Buddha reference I made. So I want to talk about this one a little bit, because this is kind of important. There was a Taoist master by the name of Lin Ji, and he came up with what's known as a koan, and the koan was, if you meet the Buddha, kill him. Now, that's actually kind of a shortened version, because if you're going to meet the Buddha, you're going to meet him on the road. So it's really, the road itself is the path that we're all on. We're all on the path to enlightenment. We're all on the path to conscious reunification with the source, the sea of consciousness, okay? And it can be through meditation. You can become aware, find the space in yourself through study and prayer and other aspects of the way you choose to live your life. Your life is your road. You make the road of it what you will. You make the path what you will. But how do we meet the Buddha on the road? And who is the Buddha that we meet on the road? Is it our conception of Buddha? Because any thought we have of Buddha cannot be Buddha. The finger that points to the moon is not the moon. The words we use are symbolic and representative of. They do not point to absolute truth. They only point in the direction of truth. What it means is to kill the image that we have reached a final point, because there is no final point. Give up the false concept that we've created through thought of what Christ or Buddha or Muhammad or any other figure in our past, present, or future who is here to deliver profound messages. And we all have profound messages to deliver. But give up your concept of what those people would have been like. Give up your belief and ideas about what they truly represented, and understand that those are your thought processes. They're not reality. It's better to feel it, better to experience Buddha consciousness, better to experience Christ consciousness. We do this because our reality is impermanent, therefore it is an illusion. It does not mean that that illusion is not very valuable, and that does not mean that this entire universe and relative space has no meaning. It has absolute meaning. As I said, it is the expression into the physical of the marvelous conscious evolution going on throughout the entirety of all physical space, everywhere. And we are part of it. The sooner we can look at each other and see the Creator in each other, and that is the heart of Namaste. I see the divine light within you. The road we walk, it doesn't really matter which path we choose. All paths lead to the same place. And I'll keep saying this until my last dying breath. There is no judgmental God waiting for you. There's only a whole bunch of people who'll be really happy to see you, that you're going to spend a lot of time talking about the adventure you had. And then you're going to want to come back, believe it or not. Sooner or later, you're going to want to come back. And the goal, of course, the goal is that we can raise the consciousness of our entire species together. We really can. And we do that through raising our own. And every one of you here and every one of you who sees that and is drawn to this is in the process of doing that. You know, we keep beating ourselves up. I see this time and time again, and we have to stop. You know, you are a product, and this does not take responsibility away, okay? But what I'm trying to do is remove the idea that you are to blame for where you are in your existence. There is no blame. If you look at where you are experiencing exactly what you need to right now to come to a place of knowing which direction you need to grow in and evolve in. And no matter what your ego may think about it, you are surrounded at all times in loving arms. Our pain is false. It is a product of our false sense of separation from that which created us and each other. And healing the pain is simple. It really is. Give in to what is now. Accept, surrender. I personally feel like a Christmas tree. Sorry, I just saw that, honey.
It's true.
I'm going to plug you into the outlet in the bedroom tonight. Did you have a blinking pattern mode?
It's a
Charlie Brown tree. Okay, totally lost where I was. Coming back to it. Sorry about that. We have a choice as a species, we have a choice as individuals all the time, and that choice is to change our perceptions about what is going on. And it really begins with a simple understanding that no matter what you perceive, you're only seeing a tiny piece of the big picture. And just a little bit of faith, just a little bit of understanding, patience, can be enough. There is untold numbers of people who have life so much harder than we do. They really do. And it is for those people who show us where we still need to grow as a species that I would ask we keep that in mind. We remember when our problems seem so large. You know, when this basement flood happened to us, I couldn't feel anything about it. I really couldn't. And the reason being is I knew instantly that I still, even with the flooded basement, was far better off than 3 or 4 billion other people. And that getting upset about the basement was far from gratitude. So instead, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that my basement flooded because it reminded me how lucky we are. Little change in the way you think, little change in perspective can go a long way to changing how you view the world. This has been Garen and my wife Kelly. And we wish you much love. Namaste to you all. And we hope to see you again all very soon. It's been a great conversation, and I hope the little bit of humor was worth it. Take care and namaste.